Okay.
So, what's the solution to this problem? The solution to this problem is when I feel this need, right, to actually go inside of it, not run away from it and try to stall it and try to quell it with something external, but actually really feel it. What am I looking for? You know what? I really need friends. I really need to be connected to somebody, right? Does it have to only be a woman? Maybe. Maybe I'm looking for a relationship with my mother. Maybe I'm looking for a relationship with Stam, people around me. Maybe looking for a really good friend, right? Now the work starts. Now that you identified this need, there's not going to be a solution to your life unless you actually fill that need. But you are going to be wise enough that once you develop it, it's like this actually won't work. It actually won't make me happy. If I'll do this, I will feel just as lonely. So let's not do that. Let's go find a real solution. In finding that real solution, you might have work to do. It might be you're blocking all your relationships. It might be that you do things to push people away. It might be that you aren't putting any effort into doing that. There could be 100 reasons, right? That is tikkun. And you know what? That is the attributes that are necessary to actually form a marriage. Because if you're blocked from making relationships, for whatever it is, let's say you don't believe in them, you don't trust them, you don't want to put effort into them, and you have all kinds of perceptions of what people, your entitlement, whatever the reason is, right? That's going to destroy your marriage the same way as it is right now the relationships you have. So what your desire is pushing you for when you think, I want a woman, you want woman. How do I get there? Solve this problem. Actually fix the block in you that is making you feel a lack is a midah, which is not allowing, an attribute, which is not allowing your desire to come out, which is to have social relationships. The block of that, fix. And then when you fix that, you won't.
Say that again.
You have a desire for relationships, right? A healthy, good desire for relationships. It's not only your wife. A person only has a wife who doesn't have friends, they'll also be lacking. The person wants to have a relationship with their parents, right? And then it goes sour, and they have a wife. It doesn't necessarily solve the problem, right? We need relationships on a broader scheme. But if there's something blocking you inherently on your ability to relate and connect to people, it will not only block you from the people you're doing with now, even if you had that woman, you have the same block. So that desire inside you is saying, I want a woman. Therefore, work on this. I have pain, right. There's something missing in my life. The ability to connect. Go fix it. When you start working on fixing it, that will fulfill you, that you won't need right now the expression of woman, unless it's time for you to actually make one, and you'll go find and make one. A real relationship. There's a very healthy place in a boy, but he gets to a certain age, he's like, nah, I'm not happy until I have my other half. That's great. And it should be that way. But people struggle for years, way before they're actually interested in having any sort of connection, because with a wife, because they're looking for connection. Which is why you should know that a mother who takes good care of her son and has good connection with her, he has a much easier time with this type of nisayon because he has it in his arsenal, he has it in his life. And people who struggle with mommy issues should know that's a huge part of their struggle. And you may not be able to, many relationships where the parents are not able to be what they're supposed to be, and you won't be able to fulfill it that way. But the need for love and the need for connection is real, and you have to fulfill it from yourself, from your friends, from other people in the world, in order for you to be a healthy connector. Because if you don't believe in love, which means you assume you can't get it there, you don't believe in connection, it doesn't make a difference who comes your way, even the best woman in the world, you will never connect her. And it's because of you. So these expressions, when we have situations which seem like, wow, there's something really, really wrong, and I really want to look it now at a screen or go find a fake relationship, right? All that is saying, yes, your trajectory is off towards getting to your destination, which is the most incredible relationship people possibly do. Go fix it. I gave an example of connection, and I often see like different things on YouTube, why I watch porn and now I have the solution of all of life. It's because of guilt, it's because of this, it's because of this. There's actually like 6, 7 reasons. You know why there's 6, 7 reasons? Because there's a lot of midos, a lot of attributes that we all need to develop in order to have a fulfilling marriage. So they'll all express themselves within a person's life, say, fix me, fix me, fix me. And there's be all kinds of reasons. You can have a reason where a person fell 6 months ago that they actually dealt with, and there's a new reason that comes up. You know why? Because they have a new thing they need to fix in themselves in order to have this incredible relationship later. Okay, so the way to chart all of this is, the way to grow in all of this is again, be self-aware. Which means, okay, I'm being pulled. And the truth is, it's not only being pulled, it's I was pulled and I fell. It's also fine. Why? Because being pulled, let's look at being pulled for a second. Being pulled is beforehand. You're just like, okay, what do I need something? So I see my feelings. I notice my thoughts. The thoughts that actually created those feelings, which are more internal thoughts than external thoughts. It's like core. Usually it's super simple. What do I really need? Let's go get it. That's done beforehand, and it's also done afterwards. Afterwards, 20/20 hindsight. Because right now I feel garbage. I don't feel good. Okay, now you even have a better understanding of what's going on with myself. So let's look at it. Okay, first of all, what was pushing me beforehand? Right? I was sad. Okay, and what did I want? Well, I wanted to look at this picture. Is that really what you wanted? Well, what are you thinking about? I'm thinking that I'm lonely. Oh, so that's not what you wanted. You wanted to be connected. Now I feel horrible. Well, that's pretty clear. Now we learn something, that if you need connection, to get it from a screen will only make you sad. That limud, that learning was the point of following. Right? So it doesn't really make a difference if you do it before or after. If you do it before, then you overted messing something up for yourself. If you do it after, then you have a certain level of depth that you couldn't have had you not fallen. So they both have their individual value. And that's why we don't make a big deal out of making mistakes. We say, okay, now what'd you learn? Okay, but the more that a person is self-aware, the more they can identify different reasons that push them to do these things. And then figure out how to satisfy them. So before we go on analyzing other reasons why, I want to know if you have any questions.
I wanted to understand a little more. Why is it so difficult? Because I tried doing this like a couple times, and it was, I don't know. I just didn't find what was going on. And also, if I found the feeling, let's say that I'm lonely, so I don't know, doing the next step of
actually solving the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at it. What happens if you're lonely in your life? What would you do? If you fully take responsibility of that, how would you get yourself not to be lonely?
I don't know. I would go out and look for some friends or something.
You
Call someone.
You may get on a phone call and say, listen, I was feeling really lonely. Let's have a schmooze. And I missed some connection. You're a great guy. Let's connect. Right? But it's immediate. You're not going to say, okay, I see I'm lonely. I'll deal with it next week. You're not. Your soul and body are going to go crazy until next week. What are you going to do about now? Well, who's supposed to be in my life? Oh, he's in my life. You know, but he's not. Well, what's up? Why not? Let's go deal with it. Maybe it's an ache to fix that relationship. Right? So I question, did you take it bull by the horns and say, I'm going to deal with it now? Because people have a tendency to think that it's fake, these type of needs, and that I need to look at the computer, but if I was really mature, I wouldn't have to look at the computer right now because I'm really busy, I got stuff to do in my life, and I don't want to, what's the point? Well, actually, your life, this is a pretty important part of your life, otherwise it wouldn't be making you so crazy. So are you going to do something about it now? 10 minutes you're going to put into it? Are you going to make a plan for the nighttime? What are you going to do? So that's number one. I think people have to be committed to their own needs. The second thing is that you brought up that I would also question is that I don't really know what the need is. Okay? Why not? Why couldn't you identify the need?
I don't know. I just felt that I'm sad or angry or whatever it was,
Okay.
and couldn't figure out what's behind that.
What's the thought that makes that happen? Because you can't have a thing without a thought.
For example, let's say I was planning on doing something and I ended up I didn't end up doing it. So.
Okay, so you didn't live according to the rules that you set for yourself. Okay, now I'm sad. What are you thinking?
Guilty.
Feeling bad about yourself.
Yeah.
By the word guilty is a very good word. It means I am judged guilty. Okay? It's a psak. Right? You throw you in jail now. You suck. Okay? You're a bad person. All those words, right? Now, feel that. How does that feel when you're in that space?
Not good.
What do you want? What's that pain about? What's missing in your life now that you have that you're in this state of thinking that you're guilty and worthless and whatever the words are? What is now has been taken away from you?
That I had before?
That you wish you had, but now that you did this mistake, it's like, I don't have it.
I don't know, fulfillment or something like that.
Fulfillment, success,
Success.
right? That I'm proud of myself, accomplishment, right? Okay? So now, that's a very important need. One of the main needs we have in this world is to fulfill out our purpose, because every person has a unique purpose. We want to accomplish. One of the places that we accomplish the most is within an intimate experience with a woman. Because we become who we are, which is a melech, a giver, a provider, a lover. That's our essence. We are made in the image of God. So I'm always looking for, I don't feel accomplished. Let me find my place that I can feel super accomplished, which is in a sexual relationship. But what I'm looking for is to feel accomplished. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, turn on the screen. Do I feel accomplished? There's no one to give to. Who just fixed that?
Yeah, close enough.
There's no one to give to, there's no one to receive, there's no one to care. It's nothing. So obviously it's not going to do it. But I still don't feel accomplished. Now, let's look at how I live my life and judging myself that I don't have accomplishments when all that happened was it didn't go according to plan. Guilty when people make decisions about their accomplishments, when they decide they made a mistake and they put a label on themselves that they're guilty, as opposed to actually making a decision, hey, you know what, I didn't do what I want. I'm going to change what I want. I'm going to actually accomplish, I'm going to actually change the kibbutz of life. If we put all the energy into that, then it doesn't continue the cycle. But if you say you're so upset and you're so you're worthless, all these things, the cycle stays, you don't accomplish anything. So basically what I'm saying is that you need a shift in how you view your mistakes. Does it define your entire reality? Does it define your value? Now, I'll show you how important this is in a marriage. Okay? In a marriage, one of the most amazing things about women is that they know you like no one else does. And the most painful thing in the marriage is that you know you like no one else does. And when you do something not correct, she will tell you. She will tell you like it is. And that's her job. Her job as your partner to help you grow. She's like, no, that's not okay. You were actually not a nice person when you did that. Right? Now, imagine that happening in a marriage. Okay? Your wife having a great time, and she says to you, I can't believe you did that. That was so self-centered. Really, I'm really angry at you. Okay? Now what happens to you? If you go on that path of making a mistake, and I failed, and I'm not successful, and I don't accomplishments, so basically, how would you feel? Grumpy. And you would feel within your wife is telling you, you are not accomplished. Can you imagine the feeling that it is? You feeling from your wife, she's saying to you, you suck. You are not accomplished. Right? What's left in the relationship? It's all gone. But all of that happened in your head. Because that's not what she means. She means you're a great guy, I love you, I think you're the most awesome husband in the whole world, but you made a mistake over here. Fix it. So it's imperative in a marriage for a person to be able to hear their issues, deal with it, and go on and know the love still exists. The value still exists. Which is the way the emes of the world, this way Hashem does it, is even though we make mistakes, He doesn't change His love for us, doesn't change His value for us, because it's much broader than this one tiny little thing. That's a way of being that we have to indoctrinate into our psyche. That if we don't, right, the desire for a woman, which means the desire for a relationship, to have a fulfilling relationship, will tell you there's something wrong over here. I'm not satisfied, because if I can have the perils of feeling not accomplished, then it's going to be a difficult life. And I'm going to always look for a fulfillment. Always looking to pick myself up and to pleasure myself, because I can't live like that. I can't live in a world where every whatever, when I make a mistake, I lose my whole value. That's the point of that desire. The point of that desire is to tell you, hey, I need to believe in my own value. And if I don't, I'm always going to be thinking that I need to pick myself up with external things. Even if you have a wife and a loving wife, you'll do the same thing. Because the second she said something not nice, she doesn't love me anymore, let's go to the screen. There won't be any difference between having a wife, not having a wife. You'll have the same nisayon, the same fall, and it'll only be worse because it'll also destroy the relationship. So in the years beforehand, that desire is there to drive you to build that attribute in yourself, to believe in your own value. And then when you believe in your own value, what happens is, every time you accomplish something within the marriage, right, it builds on that belief system. Like I'm valuable, and look, I even did this, and there's now within the relationship, she's even adding more value, and she's even giving what a man needs to feel accomplished is a huge part of the relationship with a woman, right? His giving, his loving, his protection, his that. And she's like, wow, you're my man. You make me feel like you are a king, right? Those words are priceless for a man, but they can only be experienced if he doesn't block and assume negativity about himself that won't let her words even penetrate. And that place inside of ourselves is what causes people to fall to porn and to girls, both before marriage and after marriage. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So we just spoke about two different needs. One is a need for connection, and one is a need for value. Both of them are extremely prevalent in a good relationship, because if you have a good relationship, you take care of your wife, then you're going to feel super connected, and you're going to feel super accomplished. And if you don't, you won't. So these are very important needs in a marriage, right? But it's only two of the needs. There are other needs in a relationship, and therefore, even if you master these two things, and you believe in connection, that people love you, and you believe in your own value, you still might have an issue with girls or with porn. For other reasons. We can look at those too. We'll look at all of them. But the key to all of them is to realize these are all integral parts in making a good relationship. If you don't have these integral parts, then the relationship in the end also will be just as bad. So before you go on, any questions?
My phone doesn't have so much room. Could I stop it?
Sure.